Hello there. In today's session, we're going to talk about the Copilot templates that live within the Agent Builder experience. Today's AI is about speed, right? Getting through things faster. And when we look at the Microsoft templates, they're going to allow us to get to that value faster. So I am Tracy Ottenstreyer. I've been living in Copilot since the early Bing chat days of February 2023. I work at Stoneridge as a lead Copilot consultant for Copilot M365 mainly, but also around the D365 space. I spend most of my time helping teams move from that curiosity stage of AI to real usable solutions. We're going to talk about why start with templates and actually do a live demo. They are a launch pad. They're not just a shortcut for creating an agent. They give us that solid structure with scenarios, instructions, intent. So we're not just staring at a blank page trying to create our first or maybe our third or fifth agent. Okay. They also reduce that ideation friction. Most teams don't stall because Copilot can't do the work. They stall because they don't know where to start. So a template will give us something concrete to edit and test and improve and just somewhere to start. And then finally, they drive momentum. So small, credible wins will matter most over perfect designs. And when you start to see things working quickly, adoption will follow. So by the end of this session, we will be able to recognize pre-built templates, customize them for better instructions and prompts, and then use that pattern for our own purposes. So first, templates reduce early costs. I'm going to go through a few slides and then we'll get into a demo. They are going to give us a structure so the team doesn't waste time debating basic instructions or where to start. And also, human customization is still essential. So, for example, the prompt coach template works fine out of the box, but the momentum will come when you tell it who it's for, what the tone is, what it's good for, and then immediately begin to see how it works. And then, third, we can boost adoption confidence with templates. It's much easier for someone to improve a starting point than build from scratch. And that will lower the barrier to trying Copilot at all. And then also, of course, templates have some governance maturity. They create a baseline for how to name, what tone to use, and what usage will look like. That makes it standardized across the organization. And standard means that you can scale faster. All right, so there are two experiences for building agents: the agent builder experience, which is right in the M365 Copilot chat experience, and then the full Copilot Studio experience. Agent Builder can serve as that quick start to build an agent using a template. There is some more complexity that you can use Copilot Studio for and build out some really more robust needs, things like orchestration and integrations or even advanced controls. But there are lots of practical use cases for using the agent builder experience. Things like coaching agents, onboarding helpers, Q&A support, role-based assistance. For example, a new manager coach or a Copilot prompt helper works perfectly here. And the key idea here is smart sequencing. So start with the light agent builder experience. And then if you decide later you need deeper engineering, move to Copilot Studio. So here's an image of those templates I keep talking about. I'm going to talk about three to get started, and we will then go in and do that demo. So Prompt Coach out of the box is built to help users write clear, effective prompts. It already knows how to ask clarifying questions and improvements, and it's a coach that helps us get better results. It's intentionally broad, which makes it a perfect candidate for showing how quickly we can customize it to improve its usefulness. We will do that shortly. The Idea Coach, that's built to help users brainstorm, explore options, think through problems more creatively. So, out of the box, this is designed to guide our thinking with structured prompts rather than just throwing out random ideas. It's a strong starting point for innovation planning and early stage problem solving. What if that idea coach, though, wasn't just a general brainstorm partner and instead became a focused problem solving assistant for things like process improvement change or planning or team retrospectives, asking like smarter questions based on your job? That's how we can customize that template. And then finally, the writing coach. The writing coach is designed to guide drafting and refinement of written content. So, out of the box, it will help with structured tone and consistency, not just our text generation. It's especially useful for teams producing repeatable documents who want more standardized starting points. So, what if the writing coach acted like a built in editor for your organization? Maybe enforcing tone, structure, or expectations for executive updates, client deliverables, internal communications, and it's all based on your organization's parameters. That's how we would customize that agent. We're going to transition into the live demo. So, all three of these agents I mentioned work immediately out of the box, but they are generic on purpose. The value will show up when we go into the agent builder and tailor it to a real role and use case. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here I am in Copilot chat app, and I'm going to the agent section and I'm going to click on new agent. When I do that, I get the agent builder experience, and I want to go into template and pick the prompt coach for my example today. When I do that, all of this information fills in. You can see this nice robust set of instructions. It's called the prompt coach, and this is what it would look like out of the box. But I'm going to go ahead and edit it now. So we're in the configure tab, and I'm going to rename this agent now the finance copilot coach. So the prompt agent is good at helping people create prompts. But for this agent, I want it to be good at helping a finance department or maybe an accounting team write better prompts, and they have specific needs. So, my description for the agent is to help finance teams write better Copilot prompts by enforcing clarity, structure, and conservative financial thinking. You can have a longer description, but really the meat and bones of how the agent will work and perform is in the instructions. So we're going to go ahead and flip to this. Now we want to keep all of these instructions because they're created to be a good prompt coach. And we do want this agent to be good at prompting, right? But we also want it to include specific things that a finance team would have to write or use. So in this case, right now we've got an agent that can help create and improve prompts for Copilot. We've got different things that it's already doing, and then overall direction, avoid overwhelming and multiple questions. Okay, so at the very top of this, I'm just going to give myself space and I'm going to paste in a set of instructions. And now the instructions are specific to a finance Copilot coach, helping a finance team defined by these kind of roles write better prompts for Microsoft Copilot when asking finance related questions. The job of this coach is to help users improve their prompts so Copilot returns clear, accurate, and usable finance outputs. And then I'm giving it some rules. Ask clarifying questions. Focus on helping the users rewrite and strengthen their prompt. Keep it simple. Be precise, conservative, and plain spoken. Avoid speculation. Use professional finance wording. Then I give it some additional things. When suggesting prompt improvements, encourage users to ask for structured outputs, maybe tables, bullets, or lists. Clearly state assumptions, request risks, separate facts, and then avoid things like guessing on financial results. Do not invent data or conclusions. Do not speculate. Okay, so this is going to make for a better coach for my finance team. Pro tip on these instructions, I actually went into Copilot, gave it a really good prompt to help me write a good set of instructions. In a couple minutes, I will throw up that prompt on the screen so you can screenshot it and potentially use it yourself as you're trying to improve on your instructions for an agent. All right, so now here, if I needed to, I could specifically add some knowledge sources. So I could either upload or attach a file from SharePoint, let's say, with a link to this agent that would be specific for finance policy or something else. And if I want, I can add some different skills. I would like the ability for it to search all websites or only use specific sources. I like the idea that it can reference me and so it knows the role that I'm in. So I'm going to click that on. We can also have it add skills like being able to create documents, chart, and use code when creating information and creating the prompts for us, and even images. And then we can update the suggested prompts. We want to have the user understand what this agent specializes in. So, helping me write a Copilot prompt to analyze budget versus actuals is a very pointed question. And let's see, we can prompt for budget versus actuals, right? So we have a title and then we have a description of what we want that prompt to be. And we could do that for a few more. And now we're getting very specific in what we want this agent to be able to do. And the user of the agent understands what it can do. So this one is create a prompt to summarize financial risks. And we could go through and change, either delete, add all the different prompts here. So now that I've configured this agent to be what I want, I'm going to click create and the agent is going to be created. The next step is to test using another prompt. Let's hop back over to our presentation to wrap things up. So first I promised, here's the prompt that I used to create the added instruction. Please help me revise the instructions for the prompt coach to become a finance Copilot coach, helping users in a finance team write better prompts. And I went on to explain some different rules and goals and information, context. So all the things that make a good prompt. I hope you had time to screenshot that. All right. So what does good look like when we're creating prompt or templates? I want you to pick one template and customize it for your job this week. Ask Copilot for some ideas if you need to, right? Get back to Copilot and say, I want to use a template to update and create a new agent. Which one should I use? This is my job, right? Make it a small and intentional agent. And remember that templates help because they remove that unnecessary startup work. We don't have to design now from ground zero. We can add value quickly by customizing and tightening the instructions of an existing template. Thanks for spending time with me today. My hope is that this made building agents with Copilot feel approachable and not overwhelming. Have a super day at the conference.